Hey everyone, and welcome to another episode of The Art Witch in Art History. Today I have a story. We are talking Picasso today, and we are talking about one artwork in particular called The Weeping Woman, part of his Weeping Woman series. Or his Weeping Women series, but we're actually going to be talking about this one here in particular, which you can go and see at the National Gallery of Victoria if you live in Melbourne or if you're in Melbourne. If you are in Melbourne, I highly recommend going to the NGV. It's one of the most awesome galleries. It has some of the most amazing pieces in there. I spend a lot of my time at that gallery. It's also my dream job to work there just quietly. But yes, go and check it out. Anyway, let's get into content. So I'm not going to talk about the painting in particular because I think it speaks for itself, but I'm actually going to be telling you the story of when this painting was stolen from the NGV. All right, so the National Gallery of Victoria purchased this particular piece for $1.6 million in 1985. Now, at the time in 1985, 1.6 million, I mean, it's a lot of money now, but back then it was a lot of money. So a year later, on the 2nd of August, 1986, the artwork was stolen. The thieves had unscrewed the painting from the wall and they just walked out with it. Well, I'm assuming they walked out with it because no one saw them unnoticed. They just took the painting and off they went. And it's said that this happened just after closing time of the gallery. Obviously, the police were called immediately and they started searching for this artwork. So, of course, it was nowhere to be found until the Australian cultural terrorists, the thieves, were sending letters to the police and saying that they were holding the painting at ransom. So they basically kidnapped the painting, and what they were asking for was an increase of funding for the arts, or their threat was they were going to destroy and burn the painting. Now, on August 5th, the thieves sent another letter stating that the Victorian government needed to put a 10% increase on the arts, and they also asked for an annual art prize worth $25,000 and to name it the Picasso ransom. They also stated that there will be no negotiation, and if their needs were not met in 7 days, then the painting would be destroyed. So another thing that was written at the end of the letter was, if our demands are not met, you will begin the long process of carrying about you the smell of kerosene and burning canvas. Now, the third and final letter that was sent to the minister, and it contained just a burnt match. After that, the thieves went silent for 3 weeks. Now, detectives and police believed that whoever was responsible for this knew their stuff. They knew about art history. They may have been artists themselves, or they were already part of the art world. So, how does the story end? You won't believe where they found the painting. So, after 3 weeks, the police got an anonymous phone call. And the person on the phone, all they said to them was, go to Spencer Street Railway Station and go to locker number 227. There you will find the Weeping Woman. That's all they said, and they hung up. So off they went, and there it was in a brown paper bag, or wrapped up in a brown bag, and it was the Weeping Woman. It wasn't destroyed, it wasn't harmed in any way, it was still intact. So what of the thieves? Well, no one was ever arrested or found guilty of stealing the painting, so the thieves were never found. There was one witness who described seeing a woman, this is the drawing, at the lockers with a brown bag or brown thing wrapped up. But yeah, that's pretty much all I found. That was the only evidence or the only witness that described one person. But again, she was she was never found. So if you're ever in Melbourne, go and visit the Weeping Woman. She's alive and well at the National Gallery of Victoria. And I hope you enjoyed this episode of The Art Witch in Art History, and I'll see you on the next story.